What's happening? What's happening? What is happening? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Kattphish, and you are now live with Kattphish in the Phish Bowl. You know what I'm talking about? And I first of all, we got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, but unfortunately, I just don't have the time. You know why? We don't have the time because we are in the middle of Christmas season. And because we're in the middle of the Christmas season, I know that today is only the last day of November, but because we're in Christmas season, uh, and because of where I work, uh, shit's getting real. You know what I'm talking about? It's getting real. For those of you that don't know, you know what I'm saying? I work at the United States Postal Service, and Christmas time is always a rough time for all of us that work there, right? Uh, Even today is my scheduled off day, but guess who got to go to work today? Me. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, this episode is going to be a bit shorter than normal, um, because I need to get ready for work. But there are some things that I do want to talk about. First and foremost, what I do want to say is, uh first and foremost, let me get my shit together. First and foremost, for those of you that are going to watch this live and those of you that may catch the replay, make sure that you follow Kattphish on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and IG. Uh, and go subscribe to me on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Greatly appreciate that. You know what I mean? I really would. Right? Excuse me. Secondly, what I want to say is I want to thank those of you that have been watching me for these past few weeks. Um, and what I do realize is that me coming here on a weekly basis may not be enough for me, because things that happen in the news and things that happen in the real world, uh, they don't just happen every week. And a lot of the times, by the time Thursday comes around, unless something happens on Wednesday, uh, it's old stuff. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to try to come to you all a little bit more frequently. And I can just go ahead and say that my frequency will probably happen more after the after the holidays. Once I can get Christmas behind me, once I can get New Year's behind me, uh, then I'll start doing things on a more regular basis. Uh, Not that I'm not doing them regularly anyway, right? Uh, I also want to let you all know that, uh, excuse me, the week of Christmas, um, I know for sure that on Tuesday, that's the 26th, because Christmas is on a Monday. That Tuesday, uh, I will be doing an episode of In the Fish Bowl with Kattphish on that Tuesday. And I will have a lot of guests here. And so we will definitely be doing that. So I want you to look out for that, and I will be sending reminders about that as we get closer and closer and closer to that time period, right? I keep losing all of my shit in front of me, right? Um, One of the things that I did want to say, and I want to make sure that I highlight a few people. Um, well, it's more than a few. I want to highlight everybody. Uh, 2 days ago was my birthday, and for everyone that reached out to me on Facebook, on Messenger, on IG, people that reached out to me uh, with phone calls, people that reached out to me with text messages. It's a bit overwhelming trying to make sure that you reply to everyone, but I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that reached out and wished me a happy birthday. Um, it was greatly, greatly appreciated, and I don't want anyone to think that their message or their post or their anything went unnoticed. You know what I mean? I do thank each and every one of you for doing, for reaching out to me. Uh, if you're watching me right now, you're watching me on Facebook, let me know in the comments that you're here. If you're watching me on YouTube or Twitter, let me know. You know what I'm saying? I'll be able to see everything that's going on, and I want to have some kind of interaction, right? I love interaction. I love that, and it's one of the things that kind of keeps this thing going. You know what I'm saying? Me being able to reach out and touch someone. Well, I don't want to touch y'all like that because you know the way that people are touching folks now, it end up you getting sued for $30 million. What's up, Puff? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, 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 how you doing? This is one of my good friends right here. You know what I'm saying? And good friends from college. You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank you for being here and watching. You know what I'm saying? I see that you're watching me right now on Facebook. So I thank you for doing that. Um so I was looking I was looking on the news, the the Twitter and Facebook news, because who watches Fox anymore, right? And one of the things that was interesting that came across my algorithm was this whole thing with Ti and his son, and like I don't want to waste too much time on that, but I honestly think that Ti should have grabbed his son's phone before he started getting too slick and just slammed that bitch to the ground and then dealt with shit accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Because, everything ain't meant for public consumption. You know what I mean? Everything is not meant for the public. Sometimes, uh, now I'm not saying that what Ti did was wrong. Ti should have choked dog shit out of his ass, right? Should have done that. But everything ain't made for everyone to see. And I don't care if you're in the public spotlight or not. Some ass whoopers need to be dealt with privately, right? Um, I was having a conversation with one of my friends earlier this week, and one of the things that we were talking about is something that kind of stuck with me, and I wanted to come here and vent about it, right? Um, and at any point, if you have any questions that you have for me, even if those questions are not related to what I'm talking about, feel free to leave those questions in the comment section, and I'll address them accordingly, right? But one of the things that I was talking to my friend earlier this week about was uh, us as 40-plus-year-old parents. I'm sorry, us as 40-some-year-old children having to parent our parents. You know what I mean? Um, that's a hard job. It's a hard job to get your mama and your daddy to do what they supposed to do and all those things. And then you have to consistently remind them that, I'm paying mortgage too. I'm paying bills too. I'm grown too, right? I am by no means like I can look at my mom. I just turned 46 2 days ago. My mom is 66, right? And with that being said, I've never been 66 years old. You know what I mean? She's been 46, but I've never been 66. So I understand that I will never be as old as she is in the same time, right? But what I also am aware of is that sometimes these 60-year-old parents, and by no means am I speaking directly about mine, but sometimes these 60-year-old parents forget that their 40-year-old children are 40 years old and still want to talk to us as if we're 12 years old. I understand that you want the best for us and you want to, make sure that we are doing X, Y, and Z. But uh, my life as a 40 something year old man is my life. You know what I mean? Uh, and then, on the other hand, you have some parents that, uh, when I was talking to my friend, one of her issues was that sometimes your parents think that you're supposed to continuously be the rock that you were. And what I mean by that is that, you might have a situation where a single adult child is sending money home to help out their parent. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But once that single adult child becomes starts to have their own family and they have their own children and they have their own husband and or wife, uh, they have responsibilities to their household. And because they have their children and their wife or husband, they may not always be in a position to take extra money and send it to mama or daddy. They may not be in a position to get up and put gas in their car and go help mama do this because little junior got a football game or baby girl got ballet or whatever the case may be. My time has to be given to the family that I created, not the family that I came from, right? They don't always get that. And sometimes it gets to the point where it becomes a situation that is almost kind of it's almost kind of a bit of a jealousy. It's almost a situation where uh you choosing them over me. I've known you longer. I gave you life, and what's even more interesting is some of these parents are some of these Bible thumping parents. Some of these parents that want you to bend over backwards to make sure that they get the things that they want, make sure they get the things that they desire. And it may even be some of the things that they need. These are the same parents who consistently, when we were younger, saying, when you turn 18, you got to get up out of here. Are you going to college? Okay. When you graduate college, you got to get up out of here. The Bible say, that you should uh cleave to your woman and leave your mama alone. Make your own family. I'm the family that you came from, and I'm helping you to get where you need to be. But now that I got you where you need to be, I still need you to be doing for me. That don't add up. That math ain't mathing. It don't work. You know what I mean? Um, and so that was a very interesting conversation that my friend and I had earlier this week. You know what I mean? Um, And so, one of the things that makes it difficult for a lot of people is, uh, from our standpoint, we still live by the code. We still live by the Bible to honor your mother and father, right? Um, and that's good. I'm not telling people not to do that. I'm not telling you not to do that at all. But what I am saying is that somewhere along the line, there has to be a disconnect. Um, Sometimes you want your boys, the men in your family to get off the titty. How can I get off the titty if I go and create my own family and then mama come and throwing the titty right back to me? I can't get off the titty if you keep throwing it at me, right? By the same token, um, some people think that it is disrespectful or dishonorable to tell daddy no, to tell mama no when they ask for something. You know what I mean? Some people feel that way. They feel that it is wrong because this person gave me life. I have to do what they say, even at 40, 50 years old. You know what I mean? Uh, I ain't got that problem. I ain't got that problem. Nah. You know what I mean? Um, but then, there's other instances and situations that you look at, and, depending on, the health of people, of your parents, some things, you can get a pass for. You know what I mean? For example, when those of you that don't know, my father passed away September of 2020, right? Uh, and when he passed away, he was only 66 years old, right? But my father had a string of health issues. My father had like 3 heart attacks. Yes, he had uh not colon, prostate cancer, right? My dad had a lot of issues. So traveling for him is something that's going to be difficult for him to do, right? My daddy don't take vacations. My daddy lived in the Mississippi Delta. A vacation for him was leaving the Delta and going to Jackson, Mississippi. That's 2 hours away at the most. Well, at the way that he drives is 2 hours, right? So him traveling, hmm, is a bit difficult, right? But when you have some parents, I have a friend of mine whose parent travels like consistently. They're going to California, they're going to Washington, they're going to New York. You know what I'm saying? They live in Louisiana, but they're traveling all over the United States. My friend lives in Texas, and every time my friend wants to see her child, I mean my friend's mama want her to see her. She wants her to come to Louisiana, right? If you can go all the way to California, if you can go all the way to New York, if you can go all these other places, then clearly you can come see me. It don't always have to be a situation where I'm getting on the road or I'm getting in the air to come see you. The highway work both ways. The phone work both ways. Email work both ways. Text messages work both ways. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna need the energy that you want. I'm gonna need that same energy. You know what I'm saying? You want me to burn the road up to come see you? You want me to call you every Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday? You want me to do that? I'm gonna need you to do the same thing with me, right? I don't have that problem either, right? Um, so yeah, I don't have those problems, right? Um, There was something else that I wanted to talk about. And usually I have my notes, but today I don't have my notes with me. Because I remembered that I was supposed to record an episode today, and I didn't. Uh, well, I remembered that I had to record an episode late because my mind was set on, hey, I got to go to work today. I got to go to work today on my off day. You know what I mean? Uh, I'm looking at text messages right now. Uh, oh, I want to shout out a few people real quick. Um, the group text be real. You know what I'm talking about? The group text be real. It be official. You know what I'm saying? And there's some good things that go on in the group chat. Um, a lot of the times, man, when I'm a part of group chats, I don't necessarily like everybody that's in there. So whoever created the group chat, I tell them instantly, hey, take me out this shit because I don't fuck with everybody in there. And I don't necessarily want everybody that's in there to know that it's me because I don't want you to have access to my phone number. You got access to my phone number. That means you got access to me. I don't want you to have access to me. Fuck out of here. Right. But I got one group chat that I'm in, and I enjoy hearing or reading messages from them. I read all of them. I don't always respond. But I read all of them. You know what I'm saying? And it's from a group of my guys. You know what I'm saying? I have to give a disclaimer before I tell you what the name of this group of guys is, right? The disclaimer goes as follows. When all of us met, we were all single, and the majority of us was for the streets. You know what I'm saying? The majority of us were for the streets. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I say the majority of us, I mean like 90% of us were for the streets. I'm not going to call no names, but I will say that one of those people was for the streets and that one was me. I'm only going to incriminate myself, right? However, the rest of these guys, you know what I'm saying? The majority of them was for the streets too. You know what I'm saying? This was, you know, before that phrase was a phrase. We used to call ourselves we still do call ourselves WMS, the Wild Meat Slangers. You know what I'm talking about? I want to give a shout out to all of the Wild Meat Slangers because, hey man, uh, one of the things that's important to understand and important to realize is that we as black men, we don't often hear from other black men that we are appreciated, that we are loved, that we honor other men that look like us, right? We don't always do that. You know what I mean? And so I'm not shitting on every other person on the face of the earth, but today ain't your time. You know what I'm talking about? Today ain't your time. Right now, I'm talking about the wild meat slingers, everybody that has been a lifelong member of the wild meat slingers. I appreciate you. I respect you. I value you and I love you. You know, and I mean that. You know what I'm saying? And just for the record, I was the person who came up with the name, the wild meat slingers. And maybe one day I will tell one of the many, many stories, but I have to change the names, except for my name, because I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? We all got to pass, right? But I'm going to change the names when I start telling these stories. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but yeah, I enjoy, uh, I enjoy those messages and stuff like that. And I appreciate the hell out of those guys, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's that. Um, There was something else. Let me look down here and see if I can find one. Oh, you know what? There is one thing that I want. Well, another thing that I want to mention, right? One of the other things that I want to mention is if you are placed in a situation to be able to be a blessing to other people, do that. You know what I'm saying? Do that. Um, and especially at when you can look at the when a person shows you who they are and they show you that they're good people and they show you that they are working towards something and they can't quite get it there, but you see the potential in them and you see the good in them. That's the biggest thing, when you can see the potential and you can see the good. When you can see both of those things and you are in a position to be able to assist them achieve their goal, be able to assist them in, getting over that hump to get where they need to get to. If you can do what you can for them, you know what I'm saying. There's when I was on TikTok, and I'm still on TikTok now, Catfish. You know what I'm talking about. But when I was on TikTok, um, I became uh, I became acquainted with a young lady on TikTok, and that lady that I became acquainted with, we became friends on TikTok, and I watched her be transparent, and I watched her tell, her stories, and she talks about her love for. Well, I'm not going to talk about all of her things. Well, I don't want to expose her, right? But she talks about, uh, the passion that she has for her job. She talks about, the pain of not having her mother here anymore. Her mother passed away. I want to say she said like in 2013 or something like that. Uh, and she talks about a lot of stuff, and she's very transparent. If she's happy about something, she's gonna get on on TikTok or Facebook, and she's gonna let you know that she's happy. You know what I'm saying? If she's mad at something, she's gonna get on there and let you know that she's mad, even if she's sad. She's gonna get on there and she's gonna cry and she's gonna just be very, very, very open. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that I appreciate about her is her ability to emotionally be naked with the people that she engages with on social media. But she has some other passions, and one of those passions was photography. And I'm sitting around here, in like right now, I'm sitting in the basement. I was sitting in the basement sometime cleaning up stuff like that, and I ran across some old equipment that either I haven't used in a while, and or that I was just gonna throw away. I was gonna get rid of it. And then I thought about her, you know what I'm saying? And I reached out to her and I was like, "Hey, do you want such and such and such and such?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." So, I know that she lives locally. And so, we met at Wendy's. I gave it to her. And, there's been so many other times where uh, uh there are things that I ways that I can see that I can help her, because I know that she is, from what she's showing me on social media, she is someone who has a beautiful soul. And again, I love that emotional nakedness, just being vulnerable and being able to just show true realness in a world full of fake shit. You know what I mean? And that's the easiest way I could say it. In a world full of fake shit, she is one of the most genuine people. If things are going great, they're going great. If things are going bad, they're going bad. Regardless of how things are going, she's gonna let you know how they're going, and it is what it is. So, the other day, I ordered some more equipment, some more stuff, and uh, they fucked up my order, but they fucked it up in a good way. I ordered two things. I won't say what I ordered, but just know that it's photography related. I ordered two things and they sent four. And so I reached out to her earlier today and I said, "Hey, do you have this and this?" She was like, "No." I was like, "Well, they done messed up the order. So, you know what I'm saying? If you want it, you got it." You know what I'm saying? And we texting back and forth. And because I know her, I know that she's reading those text messages with tears in her eyes, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but it it really is just good to do right by people, especially if you know that that person is either A, struggling, or B, they just have no idea, and you can see how you can be beneficial to someone else. Right now, I could have taken that shit and I could have returned it back to Amazon and gotten my money back. But yeah, that's stealing, right? Because I ordered two, they sent four, right? And I could have put them on, a website and put them out for sale. You know what I'm saying? I could have done that, but it didn't cost me nothing. I was gonna spend that money on myself anyway. Why not be a blessing to somebody else? Why not do something good for somebody when they are in the infancy of a particular part of their entrepreneurial life? You know what I'm saying? Why not do that? Why not be helpful? Right. Oh, what is this man's name? Uh Damn it. I want to make sure that I get his name right. His name is Tony. Uh Tony, let me tell you something. For those of you that live in the metro Atlanta area, specifically if you live way out east, you know what I'm saying? Lithonia, Conyers, Covington. If you live way out here and you need some work done at your house, you know what I'm saying? Getting TVs hung on your wall and a little electrical work here. You want some more outlets put in your house and stuff like that. I need you to reach out to my guy Tony Stokes. Go find Tony Stokes on Facebook, right? Tony Stokes uh came to my house. What day was it? It was the day. Matter of fact, it was the day after Thanksgiving. He came to my house the day after Thanksgiving. Uh, and when he came to my house, he told me he was going to be here at 8 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, I woke up at 4 or 5 in the morning and couldn't go back to sleep. The man texted me at 7:30 and told me he was outside. Right. And so I initially had one thing that I wanted him to do. Uh, and he ended up doing a bunch of other stuff, right? Um, One of the things that I can appreciate about people like Tony is that what makes a good business, or a good service, is when people under promise and over deliver, right? This man told me he was going to be here at 8 o'clock. Man was here at 7:30. This man told me that my his prices were this, and when I realized that I had more stuff that I wanted done, he broke it down to me. Da 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 da. I ended up giving him a tip because of how fast, how clean, and how timely he was. You know what I'm saying? I highly recommend him for anyone. I had one TV that I needed to put it on the wall. I had one fireplace that I needed put on the wall. But then I had three other TVs. One, two. Yeah, I had three other TVs that I needed the wire to be hidden. And so what he did was he uh put an outlet behind each TV so that I could have those wires hidden. And so and like I said, this man was quick. This man worked quicker than a hiccup, but he got the job done. It's good quality. Oh, and then I have like right there, you can't see it behind this camera. I also have a shelf that he put up so that I can put my Xbox. You know what I'm saying? My Xbox on there and stuff like that. But yeah, this young man, he doesn't have a website, but he is on Instagram, right? He's on Instagram, and his IG name is Freeze Frames 3. FreezeFrames, the number 3. You know what I'm saying? You can go there and see all of samples of his work and stuff like that. He does a really good job. And I want to thank my coworker, number one, for referring him to me. I'll give all of my coworkers uh nicknames. Yeah, I give all my coworkers nicknames. Uh and they have some of them have weird nicknames, but a lot of those names are uh important. Some of them are funny, but some of them are very, very, very relevant to the way that they work with me or the way that they work at the post office, period. I have one person whose name was Buttermilk, right? She never asked why I called her Buttermilk, and she recently, uh, she wasn't let go. She was recently transferred to another post office. You know what I'm saying? But Buttermilk was named Buttermilk because no one in their right mind drinks buttermilk by itself, because buttermilk by itself is disgusting. When she works by herself, she does very piss poor work. But when you add buttermilk to some other shit, when you make buttermilk pancakes, you make buttermilk ranch, when you make buttermilk biscuits, when you use buttermilk to as a base for frying your chicken or frying whatever the fuck you gonna fry, that shit make the whole lot of shit be just better. She's horrible worker by herself, but when she works with a team, she gets the job done. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a bunch of people at my job that have nicknames, and maybe one day I'll have some of those people come here and we can talk about why some of those people got the names that they got. The sad part is I don't even know a lot of these motherfuckers' real name to begin with, and I don't. But you know, it is what it is, right? But one of the things that is important, uh, one of the things that's important about coming on here and doing your streaming and stuff like that and being consistent with it. Well, consistency is the important thing, right? Uh, and so I want to thank y'all for because I see also what happens is a lot of people may watch the live, but a lot more people catch the replay. So I want to thank y'all for, especially on YouTube. I want to thank y'all on YouTube for catching this replay. I want y'all to subscribe to me and fuck with me. You know what I'm talking about? Because I need you. I need you in my life. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but with that being said, as I mentioned earlier, I do have to go to work tonight. And because I have to go to work tonight, I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing down. But I want to thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that you come back next week for In the Fish Bowl with Kattphish. And I'm out.